Alright, so we are back at Lord British's castle, and we've gone in and visited him already to heal up. And so now we are going to head back down to Dungeon Hythloth, and we can get there again from traveling through these little secret walls and heading back out to our little buddy Landry, who is probably still very shocked and frightened to see us again, because last time we talked to him, he said to us, "Hey, by the way, we're probably never going to get to see you again because you're going to a horrible place." But here we are. All right, so there is the lock, and let's head back down here. So, if we recall, we start on a different first floor of Hythloth when we come in from Lord British's castle, and we are unable to go back to Lord British's castle from this particular direction. But what we can do is head down to the 8th floor by taking this tower of stairs, essentially, down there, which puts us here. So if we take a look at a gem, we will see that this is essentially the layout of the 8th floor, and all 3 altar rooms are accessible from here. So you can see that there's kind of one in the top left corner, there's another one slightly down and kind of to the right of there, and then all the way up in the top right corner is the other one. So I guess what we can do is head over to the first one, which is closest to us, and see which altar room that is. And we already do have the part of the 3-part key from the Altar of Love. So if that one's the Altar of Love, then we'll just keep on going to the other one on the far left. So let's start with some Dispel, because we have to dispel some of these poison fields here. Quite a few of them, actually. So we'll just dispel some more of these here. Alright, so we have made our way into here, and I think I read that this is the altar room of love. So we don't want to be in here. So let's head back out of here. Okay, so let's continue on our trek. So we'll keep dispelling in this general direction till we can get to the next one here. Okay, so we've broken through the poisonous fields, and now we're in the altar room of truth. Alright, so in order to get our next part of the key, we have to put the corresponding stones into the altar of truth. So let's scoot up here for a second, and we're going to get Hun on top of the altar here. Alrighty, so let us try to use the stones, I guess. Okay, so there are holes for 4 stones. So which colors? So we know that we're here at truth, so honesty would be 1. So let's choose blue. We know that spirituality is always going to be a part of it, because that's essentially Hythloth, which is connected to all the dungeons, so we'll pick white. And then the other ones that would require truth would be justice. So let's pick green. And also, I guess, honor to an extent, right? So honor is purple. Okay, great. So thou doth find 1/3 of the 3-part key. So that's fantastic news. All right, let's go back to Hythloth, because now we just have to shimmy over to courage. Okay, so I think to get over to the altar of courage, we had to go, I guess we could go either way. So we need to go up to that top right corner to get to that one. So I guess if we go to the right, we have less poison fields to dispel. Or maybe it's the same number. Actually, I think it's the same number of them. So let's just go to the right. Make it easy. Oh, and we are in a fight with a bunch of Reapers. Allow me to vanquish these before we continue on here. Okay, so after a couple of fights, we are finally free. And I think we need to head up from here. So there might be some kind of trap door that we need to uncover. So I'm just gonna scoot everybody around and see what we can find. Okay, so I can see a hidden wall right on top of Julia here. So we're gonna step on that, and that is going to open up a trap door for us. So let us head out of this pathway now after we kill our little dragon buddy. Okay, so we just came from the left, and I think now we need to head up. So let's get everybody going that way. And we don't need to fight these ogre guys. Okay, so this should be the altar room here. So we're at the altar room of courage. And so as usual, we're going to need to go up to the altar and put in some of the stones. So let's use our stones in the altar. And so we know that for courage, we need Valour. So that's going to be red. Courage is also very much in part sacrifice, which is orange. We also need to put in spirituality. And then I think also honor, because that's kind of rooted in courage as well. Okay, there we go. So we have found 1/3 of the 3-part key. Fantastic. So now we have all 3 parts. So I guess what we can do now is just pick, essentially, I guess we can go back to Hythloth for now. And we know that if we cast exit out of Hythloth, that we're going to end up stranded kind of on the tiny island where we emerged from last time. And I'm not 100% sure whether or not the balloon is going to respawn on Hythloth. Let's just go back over here, because we don't actually need to go through these battle rooms. And let's cast exit. One more exit is all we need. There it is. So now, if you recall, oh, the balloon is back. Okay, so we can either take the balloon for a wild ride, or we could mix up something new and fun, which is called the gate spell. So we haven't talked much about the gate spell. And the gate spell on our map back, I should say, is actually a bunch of question marks, but we did receive some information at one point from somebody about it. And what it does is it allows us to travel to some of the different locations that we visited, essentially the Moongate locations. So let's see. So here we go. So Mentorian a long time ago told us that the gate spell is made up of ash, pearl, and mandrake. So let's make some of that up. So we're going to go and find gate spell here. Where is gate spell? Gate. Okay, so we need sulfurous ash, black pearl, and mandrake. And we're going to mix that up, and we can make 2 of them just for fun. There we go. So now, when we cast this, you'll see that we get locations 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, which correspond, if we head back over to our Shrines and Stones tab, to each one of these different locations. And I guess the best spot to return to would probably be Britain. So we're going to go to number 2. And here we are. Voila. And that is a new spell that you can use just to get around quickly. And it's quite handy, to be quite honest. Alright, so now that we have the 3 parts of the key, I guess the other thing that we can do is wrap up our to-do list. So if we head back over here, you recall I was talking about needing to revisit the Shrines of Honesty, Compassion, and Valour, because there's information in those that pertain to how to actually enter the Abyss. So what I'm going to go do is head back down to pause, and then we're going to jump in our boats, and we're going to head out to sea. And we're also going to make a little detour off to Buccaneer's Den to pick up some more gems, because it's not that we're running low on them, but we're going to definitely want some more. So let's go and get our boat after we fight these bridge trolls. I love how there's actually bridge trolls in this game. Okay, so we're going to leave our little horse friend here, hop in our boat, and head out to sea. And so hopefully Buccaneer's Den will be easy to find. I can't believe how easy that is to find and how long it took us to actually find it. I would like to engage with this pirate ship as well, because our ship right now is only at 69, but it won't come over here. Come here, I want to fight you. There we go. So we can fight this one pirate, and then after that, we can get into that good ship, which is all full of good HP for us. Okay, so let's go and talk to our favorite friend, One-Eyed Willie, over here in the guild shop. I've asked ye, mate. Sure ye wishes to buy from old One-Eyed Willie? Welcome to Pirates Guild. Yes, I would like to see your goods. Okay, so we need some more magic gems. Okay, so 5 for 60, and I'm just going to load up on these because after we go to the shrines to get some more of that information, we're essentially ready to head over to the Abyss. So we might as well just grab these now. Now, I think I went into like gem overkill mode, but I think we're all right. And then also too, you'll also see that for our statuses, we have everybody equipped with magic robes, and then also pretty much the strongest weapons that they can all have. I guess we could technically afford... We could afford one more magic wand, really. One more magic wand could potentially go to our other... Because we could give one to Hun. Hun can use a magic wand. And then also to... Druid could as well. Who's our druid? Jana. She might be alright with a magic bow. I think I'd rather save my money. Let me just double check how many reagents we actually have. Oh, we have lots of reagents. I was gonna say I should save my money for more reagents, but truthfully, we can probably afford a bow and to top off all of our reagents while we're here. And by a bow, I mean a wand. So let's do that. We're gonna buy one wand, please. For 5,000 gold pieces. Just one. Okay. And no, we don't want anything else. So we can go ahead and equip that onto Jana. There we go. And I feel like I can leave Hun with a bow for the end of the game, because that's not going to put her at a particularly terrible disadvantage since she's already at level 8. Okay, so while we're here as well, handy that we're here, we might as well go back to the reagent shop. And of course the Balron wants to fight. What else is new? Okay, so Magic Mentor is where we're at. We are in need of reagents, absolutely. And we're gonna get some ginseng and garlic. And so we're gonna get 20 of each. 140. And we'll get some garlic as well. So 20 of those. And that's 180 gold pieces. Great. Okay, so we also don't have very much mandrake left. We only have 3 of those. Mandrake's important for a couple of really good spells, like Tremor. How many tremors do we have? I don't think I'm allowed to tell right now. What am I doing? Who am I attacking? Yeah, I'm not allowed to see how many tremors I have. But let's get in a fight with this serpent and then we can see. So we have 11 tremors. So it might be a good idea to go... Oh, okay then. Sorry. I must have accidentally cast a spell. So it might be a good plan to go back to our little swamp patch. which we can do because we need to go over to the Shrine of Honesty anyway. So, alright, before we go anywhere, let's use our wheel. There we go. Okay, so let's go over to the Shrine of Compassion. So that's up near Britain, through the swamp patch, and we're going to do another meditation for 3 cycles to see what they're on about in terms of information about how to go ahead and get into the abyss. So is it down here? Yeah, it is. There we go. That was perfect. We didn't have to go through the poison patch. All right. So let's go over to our Shrines and Stones tab here. And we are at the Shrine of Compassion. And the mantra for compassion is MU. In case we've forgotten, which I had. Good thing to always double check. But it asks us upon which virtue dost thou meditate? So compassion, and we're going to meditate for 3 cycles. Okay, so our thoughts are up here, and we're granted a vision. It says, 3rd, light the candle of love at the entrance to the Great Stygian Abyss. Okay, so let's just come down here for a second. Okay, so I guess we're going bell, book, and candle, because those are the 3 items that we were told we'd need to get into the abyss, and that one's number 3. So I guess truly we only need to visit one more of the 2 shrines that we mentioned, like one of the 2 others. So we went to compassion, so either honesty or valor. I think it would be more, I guess, ideal to visit honesty, because we do also need to head back over to that swamp patch, which is kind of out in that direction. So let's go to honesty next, because I'm assuming that the other 2 shrines are going to tell us which one's second and first, right? Between the candle and the bell. So, off to the boat. And eastward we go. So I'm just going to sail over to the Shrine of Honesty first, and then we'll go and visit our trusty swamp patch. Now, I think that this island is not the one that we want. I think that that's where Moonglow is. But the Shrine of Honesty should be over here somewhere. If I'm remembering correctly, just down around this little mountainy bit. Maybe not. Maybe it's this way. Yeah, there it is. And we're going to fight some wisps first. Alright, so we're back at the Shrine of Honesty. So we're going to choose that. We're going to meditate for 3 cycles. And let's head back over here for a second. We'll go back up. So honesty, the mantra is AHM or OM. Okay, so our thoughts are pure and we are granted a vision. 2nd, read the Book of Truth at the entrance to the Great Stygian Abyss. Alright, so that is a pretty good indication that we are going to need to ring the bell first. So 2 and 1. Hey, alphabetical order. Bell, book, candle. There we go. Okay, well, that's all good and fine to know. So, from here, I guess our best course of action would be to go back to Britain, go talk to Lord British, see if anybody's leveled up from our latest escapades, and then after that, I guess it's down to the terrible island to see what's what. But first, to the swamp patch, which I can never remember where it is. But I will find the swamp patch, get some mandrake, and then I'll head back to Britain. So I will see you guys over there in a little bit. Alright, so let's go and see Lord British. I've taken a small detour and gone back to Britain to pick up some more food before we head out on our final journey. So this is really the last time we may be able to talk to Lord British. Oh great, Shimino did level up. Good news. Alright, so let's get one last free healing from him. And then off we go. Alrighty, so in order to enter the Abyss, we need a whole pile of things, including 8 party members, which we have. We also need a ship that has a strengthened hull, and we are able to do that using the wheel. We also need all 8 stones. We need the word, essentially. The word being what we learned from the different barons from the 3 castles. I'm gonna hop in this boat because that'd be the smart thing to do here. So let's use the wheel on this guy back up to 99. And we also needed the mystic armor. I don't know if we need it, the mystic armor and weapons, but we definitely managed to pick those up. So all those things we need to get in there. And all I'm gonna do now is actually head directly south till we reach the island where Serpent's Hold was, which is right here. And then we're going to sail east. Eventually, we're going to run into the Dark Island. And there it is. Okay, so before we go in here, I'm just going to save my game. Alright, so let's head in here. And you'll see that there's just a pile of pirate ships that we need to be able to fend off, essentially. What would be nice is if they would all just fight one another, which you kind of did see as we headed into this battle here. But we're going to do our best not to get sunk. So wish me luck. I'm going to try to fight off this battalion. Okay, so we just hopped into this new boat and we're going to use our wheel on this one and let them kind of come in and get around us here. And we're going to try to fight some more fights, so hopefully all goes well. Well, this isn't too bad, because we're in a position where we can engage with several of these ships, one after the other, without risking getting shot down and sunk into the sea. Which is just the very worst feeling, if we're being completely honest here. I don't think I've talked too much about what happens after you die, but essentially Lord British steals all your stuff and tells you, "Onward! Learn a lesson in sacrifice to my bank account." He literally takes all your food, not all of it, but most of your food, most of your gold, and sends you back on your merry way. I think he also takes some of your good weapons, so you have to go back and find them again or buy them again. Yeah, he really does punish you. It's really not a pleasant thing to be sunk. I guess the question I've always had is, why does Lord British need somebody else to rise up and be the Avatar? Like, I don't know a lot of the history and the lore around this particular game, but you'd think if somebody like Lord British was so keen that he would just go and become the Avatar himself, instead of sending other people to do it for him, and then stealing all their stuff when they die at sea. I don't know. It doesn't all add up to me, but what do I know, I guess? Okay, so we have one more ship to fight. So let's do that. Okay, so we've made it through unscathed. So we can get inside of this ship, I suppose. And then, before we go anywhere, before I step into the swampiness, let's take a look and see where we are and where we need to go. So we'll use a gem here. Okay, so I think we need to head downward to where that big spidery patch of lava is. So if we take a look, we need to head to the right and then head up and around. So let's do that. So we'll disembark here. And look at this, everyone else is poisoned. What else is new? Okay, so now I'm just going to take a second and cure everybody. Okay, there we go. So before we head in here, I'm just going to save my game. There we go. And I guess we gotta head right into the center of this pit, which will involve taking some more damage. If we recall walking through the fires of the forge to find the Rune of Sacrifice, that's exactly where we are. Kind of. Alright, so this I'm pretty sure is the entrance. And one thing that I think that we can do is throw the Skull of Mondain into the lava. So let's try to do that. I'm kind of terrified, but we'll try it out anyway. So we use the skull. We cast the Skull of Mondain into the abyss. Okay, so that's good. So now that's truly destroyed. Okay, so let's look at our sheet here, and it says to us that in order to enter the abyss, we need to use the bell, the book, and the candle. So let's go ahead and get those items out. So we're going to use item, so bell first. The bell rings on and on. We'll use the book. The words resonate with the ringing. And the candle finally. As you light the candle, the earth trembles. And we entered the Great Stygian Abyss. So this whole game, this is what we've been working toward. And from here on, we head down and will eventually gain access to the Chamber of the Codex. So that's fun. I guess that's our plan. Let's go.